Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, the high performance mentor, and I'm here to lead you to become the best version of yourself. This show raises the bar for all the motorsport enthusiasts. Holding it wide open is just what we do. Being a good person is who we are, and living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. Yo, my brother, every man wants that next level. Every man wants to achieve more. Every man wants to take things to that next fucking level in life. But here's the thing that I've learned. Here's the thing that has brought like this fucking like shaking me up, because like it's so fucking hard until you realize this shit, right? Like you realize that it requires you to step out of the comfortable peak that you're in and be willing to fucking jump back into the pit. You see, most dudes want the view, bro. Most dudes want the glory. Most views want that better life, right? The problem is that most of us are not willing to go back into the fucking climb, bro. But the wide open warrior, he doesn't just accept the climb. The wide open warrior runs straight into the fucking climb, dog. He truly does. You see, like not long ago, bro, I had hit a point where life was good. Things were all right. Things had finally turned around for the better, right? Things were starting to look positive again. I had came out of a dark moment in my life. I had started to turn things around, right? And a lot of men could probably say, yo, you were on the right path. My marriage was strong, my money was starting to flow again, my body was dialed in, my mind was sharp. Bro, and right there in that moment, in that area that I was in, right? Like the average man would have said, bro, relax. You're doing good. You finally have turned things around, right? Like, why are you gonna fucking take another big risk again? Like you're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Bro, but the thing is that inside of me, I felt this like almost as if it was God nudging me, telling me, yo, this is not it. This is not it. Go again. I need you to jump, dog. I need you to trust me. I need you to fucking go. And that right there, that is the fucking hardest part. That right there is what this whole episode is about. That right there is the fucking scariest part of all. And I say that because it's fucking easy to chase that next peak, to chase that next level, to go after a better life when you're at the fucking rock bottom. It truly is, because you're at the bottom. You can't, or it doesn't seem like you can go any further down, right? But when you're at the top, or when you're standing at, and it doesn't have to be the top, but when you're standing at even a better place than you were, right? You're standing at a place that feels comfortable. You're standing at a place that you finally can breathe with, where you finally can see a little bit of momentum being built, where you finally can see like, damn, some of this work is starting to pay off. When you're standing there at a higher point than where you were at your lowest, and you purposely choose to jump back down into the fucking battlefield, knowing damn well it's gonna fucking hurt, knowing damn well you're gonna experience discomfort, knowing damn well that you're gonna experience some more hardships, brother, that's when you find out what you're really built for. That's when you find out what a fucking warrior's life is all about. That's when you find out what you're fucking built of, what you're made of, dog. You see, the peak isn't the problem. The comfort is the fucking problem. Like when you're at rock bottom, momentum comes from pain. You've been struggling. You've been feeling like shit. You've been feeling like you can't fucking take this anymore. And so wanting to improve yourself comes from the pain. And I actually will argue with you that improving yourself when you're at rock bottom is actually way easier than improving yourself when you're at a high point in your life. See, when you're at the top, or when you're feeling better than when you were at the rock bottom, momentum must come from your purpose. Rather, when you're at the rock bottom, your momentum comes from the pain that you're experiencing, and typically that pain becomes so fucking greater, so strong, that you just say, fuck this, I'm gonna make the move because I'm tired of being in this fucking place. But yet when you're in a better place, right? When you're doing all right, right? And then you want to fucking chase the next peak when you want to become better, when you know you're meant for more, when the average person is looking at you is like, yo, you're doing all right. Why the fuck do you want more? Like, be happy, be grateful for what you got. Dog, in that moment is when you have to reach for that purpose, for what you were meant to be, for what you were meant to do. The momentum must come from the purpose, dog. You see, men complain about the valley, about the pit, about being at the bottom. But the valley is what creates the fucking hunger. The valley is what creates that fucking, that willingness to go after it, bro. Success creates sedation. Like when you're doing good, when things are all right, when you're comfy, like that shit brings sedation to your life because you're not in pain. You're happy, you're comfortable, you're feeling soft. Like there's no reason to push yourself anymore because you're experiencing success in your life. But the peak, when you're in the peak, when you're in a high, when you're feeling good, when you're experiencing success, dog, that's when your mind, that's when your brain starts to trick you, right? And what happens is it starts to trick you and it starts to make you think that you're done climbing. Bro, remember how painful it was to be down there? Like, why are you going to purposely put yourself in that position again? Why are you gonna take risk, right? Like, you're feeling good now, you're feeling comfy, you're soft, for better lack of words, right? That's the thing. Your mind tries to trick you. Your mind tries to give you these excuses so that you do not experience more pain, even though going through that fucking pain will bring you a better life after. But the real warrior knows, the wide open warrior inside of you, the wide open warrior that we have been creating, knows that you're not fucking done. Knows that you've been called to do things at a higher level, knows that God has a bigger plan for you, knows that there's so much more for you out there to fucking achieve. And that next level, that next version of yourself, that next fucking climb, that's where you continually become better. That's when you continually become stronger. That's when you become a fucking warrior, dog. You see, think of your life like, I don't know, think of your life like fucking building a race car, dog. Like, once you finally get your race car dialed in, bro, it's easy to fucking go cruise that shit, right? It's easy to like just go enjoy, right? Because it's dialed in, it's feeling good, like things are not breaking, things are running good, like you finally feel like, man, all this thing has been worth it, all this effort and time and sacrifice that I've been putting into my race car is finally paying off, I'm enjoying it, right? But the hardest thing to do to a race car when it's running good is actually tear it back down in order to rebuild it for more power. Like when things are going good and you purposely tear it down in order to achieve more power, that right there is the difference between a hobbyist and a fucking warrior. When you know that you have more in you, when you know that you can achieve more, when you know that you can fucking do more, and you purposely go back into the fucking pit because you know that you're meant to achieve a higher peak, dog, that's right there what this is all about. You see, only men with inner alignment can really take big leaps. It literally takes some big ass fucking balls to leave that comfort zone and go after a better life, knowing that you're gonna experience more hardship, knowing that you're gonna take some more risk, knowing that you could possibly go into another season of darkness. But after that darkness, what can be created is massive amounts of light, massive amount of potential, massive amount of greatness can be born through that next season of darkness. You see, if your engine isn't firing clean, dog, and when I mean clean, I mean like your spirituality, I mean your mentality, I mean your physically, emotionally, like bro, all areas of your life that really matter, you're not gonna make the jump. You won't, because you're comfy, you're feeling good, success is being experienced, you're feeling okay, right? It's like kind of like when your body is weak, your courage fades. It really does. Like when your marriage is off, your confidence drops. When your relationship with God is shaky, when it's not present, then your purpose in life, it feels blurry, almost non-existent. Or maybe when your mindset is scattered, dog, and when you're anxious and when you can't seem to control your fucking thoughts, dog, your hesitation creeps in non-fucking stop. On the other hand, though, when all your cylinders are in harmony, when all your cylinders are firing in order, when everything feels aligned, and what I mean by that is like your mind, think of it like an ECU. It needs to be running strong, it needs to be programmed and tuned right in order to provide performance. When your spirituality, think of it as your fuel, right? When your spirituality is strong, when you feel connection to God, when your faith is there, you have the fuel, the faith, the belief to create more for yourself. When your body is fucking strong, when you're powerful, when your nutrition is on point, that is your fucking horsepower. Without horsepower, you will not be able to achieve the things you want. Your relationships are like your traction in life, because it doesn't matter how much fucking things you have going on. If you're constantly spinning the wheels and you don't have no traction, then it doesn't matter what kind of success you provide for yourself, because you have no people that love you in your life to fucking share it with. Your mission, how you make your money, your career in life, how you build your legacy, that right there is the chassis, dog. If you don't have a chassis, if you don't have a framework, if you don't have a frame for your race car, you can have the engine, you can have the turbo, you can have the fuel system, you can have the wheels, you can have the transmission, you can have everything. But if you don't have a frame to put it all together in, then you ain't gonna go nowhere. And the same thing is with your mission, with your career, with how you provide money for your family. Because if you cannot provide a financial stability for them, then how are you going to be able to live? And then your purpose, your passions, what we do here in our motorsport, things that make us feel alive. That is the map. That is how we find alignment with our lives. That is how we're able to ignite our souls and go after everything that we want in life. And if one fails, if one is not operating correctly, then the whole machine underperforms. It's like when you have an engine that's running and you have one cylinder that's misfiring, that shit is gonna be fucking running like shit. You're gonna feel it. It's gonna be putt-putting. It's not gonna have full potential. Well, the same thing goes when your mind, when your spirit, when your body, with your relationships, when your mission, with your purpose, when everything is not in line, dog, you're running like shit. You see a turbo car misfiring at 20 PSI, shit, it could be misfiring at 30 PSI. It's gonna fucking explode if it's misfiring, dog. The same thing goes with the man misfiring at high pressure. He's gonna retreat. He's gonna explode. He's not gonna be able to handle the load that comes with building a better life for him and his family. You see, when you're in alignment, that equals courage. And so re-entering the pit is the price of that next level, that next chapter, that next level up in your fucking life, dog. It really is. You gotta be willing to re-enter the pit knowing that you're gonna go achieve a bigger peak. The pit is not punishment, dog. The pit is an invitation to chase or to see, to fulfill that next peak, that next mountaintop, that next level up, that next goal, that next life. Going after bigger dreams requires going through bigger breakdowns. You got to be willing to have bigger breakdowns in order to achieve bigger dreams, in order to achieve a bigger life, in order to experience more horsepower in your race car. You got to be willing to risk exploding the engine. You got to be willing to raise the boost level. You got to be willing to fucking increase the horsepower to maybe a level that might not feel safe at the moment, and be willing to blow that engine up in order to make more horsepower. The same that goes in life. You gotta be willing to go through that next hardship, to go into that next season of risking it, of what if, of man, I don't know if I can really do this, in order to achieve a better level of yourself, in order to expand your mindset, your capability, of your belief system of, I can do more than I think I can right now. You see, your next level always demands for you to take a step back into discomfort. If you stay in comfort, you will never achieve that next level. You will lose things when you stay in comfort zone. You will lose your certainty. You will lose your ease. You will lose your predictability. You will lose being fulfilled. You will lose your clarity. Dog, you lose so much by being comfy, by not chasing the next level, by not going after the next season of discomfort, by not risking what you have right now in order to achieve something better. But when you do that, dog, you gain everything. You gain mastery, you gain strength, you gain clarity, you gain humility, you gain your next level results, you gain more money, you gain more satisfaction, you gain more knowledge, you gain more lessons. It's like, bro, every racer knows that before you run a faster pass, you got to be willing to tear the engine down to look for more areas that you could tweak and experience more performance. Well, the same thing goes in your life, dog. If you're the same man, you're going to create the same life. But if you're willing to evolve, then your life will probably evolve too. And so a bigger peak, a bigger mountain, no matter where you're standing at right now in your life, and you're looking towards that next level mountain up ahead, well, in order to go from that level that you're at, in order to go to the next high mountain up ahead, you got to be willing to go down into the valley. You got to be willing to experience the hardships. You got to be willing to take the risks in order to go and climb that next fucking level. And so my question to you, dog, is this. What peak are you standing on right now in your life? And what pit are you avoiding stepping into? Because life feels good enough. Because things feel comfy. Because I don't know if I should risk this. And then my challenge for you, dog, is this week I want you to identify one area in your life where you've been coasting. One area where you've been playing small. One area where you know you can fucking do more. And then I want you to take one intentional step back into the fucking battlefield. Do something that scares you. Do something that stretches you. Do something that demands your fucking effort again, dog. Because comfort is the silent killer of warriors. So don't settle for a mediocre life. Don't settle at this peak that you're at right now when you damn know well that you're meant for more. So fucking jump in, dog. Make the climb, grow, and build the life that God built you for. Let's fucking get it. Yo, I'm slamming the checkered flag deep into the ground, and I'm claiming victory for every wide open warrior that's out there. My brother, this is your wake-up call. Break the chains, step out of the average, and become that badass motherfucker that you were born to be. This Live Wide Open movement isn't just a podcast. This is a mission that God has stamped into my heart, and helping you rise is the purpose I live for. So lock this shit in, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode. And if today's message lit that fire in your chest, then don't you dare keep this shit to yourself. Fuel another brother. Send this to another motorhead. Send this to another gearhead. Send this to another warrior who's hungry for more. Because the truth of the matter is, my brother, that building a better life for your family is non-negotiable. You got people who are depending on you. You've got a legacy to create. And those excuses that keep showing up in your mind, my brother, they will never feed the fucking table. So it's time to get up, it's time to lock in, and it's time to get to fucking work, dog. This is your moment, this is your mission, this is your movement, and wide open is the fucking way. Let's go.